Well, good afternoon to you on a Sunday in the 4 o'clock hour. Hope you're having a good weekend. The big story, of course, is all of the rain that we had on Friday and on Saturday. And the amounts were widespread and the amounts were impressive. So that's where I begin on this kind of nice, partly cloudy Sunday afternoon coming to you from Vancouver, Washington, which is where I live. Okay, I'm Rod Hill. Record rain and a cool summer start. Of course, summer started Friday evening. We had the rain. And then the first full day of summer was Saturday, and we had the rain. So you add those two totals together out of PDX, 1.74 inches came down. Now get this. That is the biggest 2 day rain total since 1.82 fell. And that was back in February on the 23rd, 24th. So it's been a while. We had over 8 tenths of an inch of rainfall in Portland, which got hit with some of the convective action on Friday and the thunderstorms. And then we had some over 8 tenths of an inch of rain that fell again on Saturday with the steady rainfall. And the rain that fell yesterday was actually a record for the date. So we were hoping for, remember, at least a half of an inch to maybe an inch, and we got 1.74. Now, if you did not have the thunderstorm activity or convection at your place on Friday, your rain totals were probably closer to 3/4 of an inch to an inch at your place. But boy, we did really well. 80s to begin the new week coming up. I've got us just up to 80 tomorrow, and about 80 or 82 on Tuesday, as we stay pretty comfortable as we get going into the first week of summer. Okay. So that's what I'm talking about. I think I've got one more. Yeah, this just kind of showcases more of what I talked about. PDX 2 day rain total 1.74. What I wanted to point out was normally for the entire 30-day period of June, 1.63. So we're okay. Remember, we had a dry May and we don't had only had 18/100ths of an inch for June, and there was big time concerns of a dry June. But we got a 30-day plus rain total for the month of June, just Friday and Saturday. And the other note I wanted to talk about was Saturday's high because of the steady rain that didn't really let up until 4 or 5 o'clock, and then we still had some showers and clouds into the evening. It was only 57 degrees. So for June 21, that is now the new record in Portland for the coldest high temperature. You have to have steady rain this time of the year to pinpoint temperatures under 60, and that's what we had. Okay, just a quick reminder, all of this is brought to you by the Momentous Wealth Podcast. Listen on Apple Podcasts, listen on Spotify for a variety of investment topics meant to educate you. From Momentous Wealth Management, local financial firm licensed in Oregon and in Washington, two I use. Okay, we've got just kind of a weak zonal to weak troughing flow pattern between Monday and Friday. As a forecaster, not very sexy at all. There's not much to kind of pinpoint things on. It looks like we're going to have a split between some 80s and some 70s. We may or may not have any rain over the next 5 days. So, with all of that said, I wanted to show you what I'm looking at. This is the American GFS model, and this is that 10,000 foot um, moisture saturation um, layer from that model. Sorry, I'm having a tough time getting the words out. So basically, if you look, and I know this is that one where it's tough to see the map, but if you look, there is Portland right there where my cursor is. This is showing some thicker cloudiness with some more of a depth of moisture off to our east. There's a high out in the Pacific, moisture kind of rotating around that. So this is this afternoon, and I'm just going to play this into Monday morning, and then I'm going to play it into Monday afternoon. So notice, we just kind of stay partly cloudy overall in Portland, maybe mostly sunny at times, with these areas of thicker cloud cover or more depth to moisture, but no real good chance for any rain. This is Monday. Tuesday, it's kind of the same thing. Now, Tuesday, there's actually a weak front. If you look at the surface, that comes in late afternoon, early evening. And notice, see these contours of pressure, how they kind of dip? There's a little weak wave. This is 5 o'clock Tuesday that comes in late Tuesday evening. And I still think there's at least a chance of some rain Tuesday overnight, and a chance of some rain Wednesday, and a chance of some rain Thursday. And what you just saw was Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday, with kind of weak troughing and a zonal flow, some little occasional shots of some depth of moisture that might produce some rain. The weather models don't give us anything measurable. So if we get something Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday, it would be really minute and probably not even a dust settler. Now, this looks like if you look closer, wow, we could maybe get some rain, but not that, or hold on to your horses, I'm trying to say. Because it looks like the moisture just kind of thins going into Friday. This is Friday. This is Saturday. And now Saturday PM, notice how the moisture starts to shoot up to the north. We get into some weak ridging, and it still looks like we'll be up into the 80s this upcoming weekend. There's still some question as to how warm we will get or how warm we may simply not get. But what I just showed you was just kind of a troughing zonal flow, little dab of moisture depth here and there. Will we get any rain? I don't know. Models probably favor that we don't. So we'll see what we end up with. This is something simpler to look at. This is just the 5,000 foot, 850 millibar temperature air mass map. And basically it shows we're in the cooler weather today. We're just going to get up to 70, 71 in Portland today, it looks like. Here is, so we're in the cooler air. There's a little bit of warmer air. See the warmth color coming in Monday and Tuesday. We've got both days 80, 82. And then Wednesday, see how we cool down a little bit. And then there's cooler weather going into Thursday, cooler weather on Friday. Those are all days with highs only in the 70s. And then we get into Saturday afternoon, and there's some warmth. There's hot weather building in parts of California, Nevada, Utah, and up into Idaho. And then we stay pretty warm on Sunday and let's see, this is Monday afternoon. So right now I've got us in the 80s this upcoming Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Let's see, this shows that we would cool down into the 70s on Tuesday. I don't think we hit 90 there. I think it's just maybe 3 days of 80s and then cooling back down. So again, not a whole lot I'm looking at. This is the European moisture potential. This is Monday morning, showing some showers basically over in eastern Oregon and Idaho. This shows, I mean, this is showing there's some specks of moisture in the Coast Range and maybe up in the Cascades. But basically, we're pretty dry until we get into Wednesday. See how the gray colors deepen on Wednesday? And there's Thursday. There's a chance of some traceable amounts of moisture. But let me stop it on Thursday evening. So we either get nothing here in Oregon or we get traceable amounts to 0.02. None of this on the west side is over 5/100ths of an inch. So that's what I'm talking about. Similar out east. Now, better chance of getting some noticeable rain up in Washington. Let me back this up. So here's Wednesday. So developing Wednesday night, Thursday, maybe into Friday morning up in Washington. This shows 44/100ths of an inch over along the central coast. Shows maybe a tenth of an inch of rain in Seattle. Shows maybe a quarter of an inch of rain in the Washington Cascade. So we'll watch that. All right. Let's go around the horn. It's really a pretty boring weather pattern that I'm tracking in the coming days, which means we're going to have some pleasant weather. Medford, 88 Monday, 90 Tuesday, 86 Wednesday, 86 Thursday. There's a 90 Saturday. There's a 95 Sunday. Overall for Medford, that's pretty nice, right? Pretty nice weather, no doubt. Okay, let's get at it. Wait, hold on. What did I do here? Well, you know what? I got stuck. So usually I show you multiple cities, but we'll just show you the Portland 7 day. Again, there's really no big headline. I've got 80 on Monday, 82 on Tuesday. We could have some morning cloudiness tomorrow morning, especially. We'll see. I'm saying maybe there's some traces of rain Wednesday, Thursday, low 70s. Friday, a little bit of a warm up, but still in the 70s. And then 82 Saturday, 86 Sunday. That is a very comfortable, really nice first week of summer. I'm Rod Hill. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It helps me out. You'll be notified when I post, and I will talk to you soon.